This is one of the snacks that I picked up on my way home. It's like these little seasoned rice crackers. And even though I'm pretty sure these are not healthy, we always have some in the cabinet at home. So this just reminds me of home, and it's gonna be today's study snack. Shouldn't have done that. So I only have 3.5 days before my first and only midterm, and I'm not feeling too prepared. The test is going to be assessing our knowledge from the content that we learned in the past 7 weeks. So other than some lab material, which will be examined in the final, pretty much everything else that we've learned is examinable. And I've already done some prep and definitely have been studying throughout the semester, but these last 3-4-ish days is when I'm going to sit down and just have long focus sessions. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that I actually went home for a weekend, and then my boyfriend was here visiting for a week. I consciously chose to spend more of my time with loved ones, doing social activities, and just enjoying my time with them. So just know that I don't study this much every week. This is more so a unique situation, and I thought I'd bring you all along because you guys seem to love the study vlogs. This close to grabbing takeout, but I ended up picking up some salmon, and I made this delicious looking salmon rice bowl. There's rice, cucumber, avocado, kimchi, and miso and soy sauce salmon. I'm so excited to eat it. It looks so good. I recently started using this new resource a couple days ago. It's called Osmosis. If you've ever studied biology or physiology, you might have seen their animations on YouTube. I actually didn't know until recently that they have a paid product version, which basically gives you access to way more resources, videos, note sheets, etc. I've really been liking it so far because not only are their videos like aesthetic and well organized, but also because I feel like they explain things in like a simple manner and concisely as well. Because sometimes I get overwhelmed by how big a topic is, or about how many different relevant points one condition has. So I find that these videos just help break it down and explain it concisely. It's 12:15 now, and I'm gonna head off to bed. If it wasn't for this, I would have stopped studying like hours ago, but tomorrow is gonna be a super long day. Let me check. I'm booked and busy from 7:30 in the morning until 4 p.m. So I already know I'm gonna be tired, but we will persist. This past month, I've been eating this like breakfast lunch burrito quite a bit. It's so good and so easy to prepare as well. Typically I'll have 2 because even though I try to eat breakfast, most of the time I realistically don't. I'm always starving by the time I come home. I normally go straight to the gym after class in the morning, but the person that I go with canceled, and I realized that I could really use the time to just slow down, clean my space, and prep for the afternoon and evening. So I'm gonna eat this little burrito. Oh, they're ready to start. Okay, I'm just not gonna film because I'm nervous. Hi.
Hi, we're getting food.
Yeah.
We're going to Van VA. Can you correct me, please?
Vanier.
Van VA?
Vanier.
Vanier.
I want to be.
This is my bad side. I'm being so vulnerable.
Oh yeah, me too.
Or is it not worth?
Like, let's switch. I don't think you guys are in it.
Do you make YouTube videos?
I do.
I can't really hear you, but I think you said house study, and I think it's okay. It's not okay. I'm really behind.
up staying there for almost 5 hours. The time really did fly by. It did not feel like that long. I made a lot of good progress on derm week, but there's just so much content from that week. I think we have like 14 lectures. So I'm done 10 of the 14 lectures and I still have 4 more to go. And it's already 11:30, but there's still some review that I wanted to finish by the end of the day today. So I think I'll sit down for maybe like an hour and a half max and just finish that up.
Falling to pieces in my room. You're coming over, that's cool. I could use a little something to do. We could go outside, take a little ride if you want to. That's cool. I did what I was supposed to. There's nothing left for me to do. So now I'm walking out.
It is currently 6 p.m. I just took a little break and had dinner, but now I'm about to get back to studying week 3 content. At the cafe, I actually managed to go through all the histology labs. So those 4 derm lectures are all the cards that I have left to make. Right now I'm just working through my week 3 flashcards, and the general process that I do when I'm studying is I use these cards to like cue my review of certain concepts. I went fully in depth on how I studied in first year in this video here, and if you see me writing on my iPad when I'm doing the review, it's either to refer to the slides, or I also have this document which pretty much just acts like a notebook. Like I just jot different random thoughts, draw pathways, test my memorization of various concepts, take screenshots and annotate. And this is really not for future reference at all. It's just for me to help better process more complex topics or like quiz myself on my recall. So one thing that we're doing is developmental milestones, and I'll have this table in shorthand. You can see I have multiple variations of it because I'm just like quizzing myself on it. Out of the 7 weeks we have, 4 of them are focused around development. So from transition between fetal to infant life up to adolescence, and the other 3 are rash, arrhythmia, and joint injury. So those 3 are like not really related at all, and I think the one that I'm most concerned about is derm, as I mentioned before, just because there's just like the quantity of content and like memorization that's associated with it. So I think I'm gonna make some tea, put on some lo-fi on Spotify, and get back to it. I got this little remote off of Amazon last year, and I really like it for studying my Anki cards. Instead of hovering over like my keyboard, I can be sitting in different positions, and it also makes it faster to click on the keys. Definitely an exam season essential, and would recommend if you also use Anki as a study tool. Good morning. It's day before the midterm. Honestly, I'm not feeling too great, like physically. I just feel like maybe my sleep quality wasn't good enough yesterday. I feel like a little bit nauseous, but I'm gonna head to my favorite cafe and try to get some work done there.
From far away she looks so good. Grew up in the same neighborhood, and that's how to rub salt in the wound. Spend a few hours on the reservoir. Never broke a bone, so I'm gonna try hard to prove you wrong.
Okay, hi. I'm really happy with how the morning went. My study goals for today were to go through every single week and make sure I could check off the objectives, do practice questions, and also do any last minute review. So I had 2 weeks of content that I hadn't really reviewed yet, and I was a bit worried on how long that was gonna take, but luckily I was able to get it finished, and now I just have 4 more weeks of the 7 left to go over this evening, but I've already studied those way more in depth, so it should be much faster. It's currently 5, and I'm gonna go head off and do a workout. I did some hot yoga today. It's one of my favorite workouts to do before a midterm because I feel like I can sweat out all of the stress that I'm feeling, and yeah, I feel much more relaxed now, which is nice. I'm finally done with my review. I feel both tired and relieved. So honestly, this is probably the midterm that I studied the least for so far, but I don't necessarily feel like I have more gaps in knowledge. I think the nature of a lot of the development stuff isn't necessarily rote memorization, and more so you can just think critically about it. So those weeks were much easier for me to grasp, and I had to do less work to understand them. And I also think I have improved my efficiency of studying overall. Like, I'm better at identifying what's important and what's not, how to make my cards more quickly, as well as putting more emphasis in stopping when I don't know a concept and like going to go learn that separately rather than just powering through the cards just to get through them. And I guess we'll just see tomorrow how that plays out, or if I'm just being overconfident in my critical thinking and problem solving skills. It is currently 11:30 now. I am probably gonna just like do some reading or something to wind down for the next 20-30 minutes before heading to bed, and I will see you all bright and early tomorrow.
Oh, hi.
I feel like I never really do a good job explaining how I feel after a test because like, it was good. I don't think I got 100%, but I also don't think I did bad either. And I know that's so vague and non-descriptive, but genuinely, I think the questions were fair. I wasn't sure on time. There were a few questions that I was unsure about, but that's pretty typical, especially when there's over 100 questions on the test. And I'm happy with the level of knowledge that I have and my ability to apply to clinical scenarios, which I think is what the most important thing actually is. So that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry I haven't posted for like over a month. Life has just been, I don't know, not really hectic, just unorganized and sort of all over the place. I'm gonna try to go back to posting once a week for the rest of this year, so make sure to subscribe down below to stay tuned, and I will see you all next time. Bye!